guys, this is Carrie with Hardracing Performance. I'm here today. Also, our dog Six is here today too from Hardracing. He's going to help assist. But I'm here today to show you how easy it is to take your stock shock off and replace it with an aftermarket Olin shock. Easy, simple, and I'm going to show you the steps on how to do that now. So first what we're going to do is take off the hugger, and then the side panel, and finally your seat, and that'll help you access the top of the shock. So we'll do that right now. First piece off. Alright, so the next step is to take our seat off. And then lastly, we're going to take off the side panel. So what you first have to do is you have to remove several screws. You've got one here, one here, one here, two up front, and one right here on the side. And then what you want to do very gently is pop this piece out on the side, the tab, and then rotate it upwards because you have another tab that's hidden, and so you don't snap it off, and then it comes right off. Alright, so now that we've got the top of our shock head exposed, makes it really easy to get access to the bolt and the nut. So that's what we're going to do next. Alright, so what we have here is our 17mm wrench and our 14mm socket. This will make it really easy if you have both of these. And now all I need to do is start unbolting. Alright, so now that it's loosened, I pull my wrench out, and there's the nut. Easiest thing to do, it's a little trick I learned, is you put just a magnet on the back of the wrench, and it kept my nut in place to where I didn't drop it and lose it. Alright, so now that we've got the top one done, we're going to work on the bottom one. Alright, so now that we've removed the nuts, all that's left are the shock bolts. So in order to remove those bolts, what we have to do is take and lower the bike onto the jack stands. Alright, so now that we've lowered the rear of the bike down, it's resting on the jack stands. Now it's going to allow us to get to that bolt, and what you have to do is just wiggle it a little bit, and releases our bottom bolt. That's our top bolt. That's how easy it is to take off your shock. Alright, now we're going to show you the two shocks side by side. As you can see, the Ohlins has a piggyback reservoir. What this does is it keeps pressure on the oil inside the shock. Basically, so you have consistent dampening all the time, even when the shock gets hot. The compression adjustment is so you can dial it into your personal preference on how stiff or how plush you want the compression stroke on your shock. And then of course, you have a threaded spring preload adjuster collar, so you can adjust the spring preload for your personal preference. What you can do is you can crank it down if you want it a little stiffer, or loosen it up if you want it a little softer. And then most importantly, All of our Olin shocks are custom set up for your rider weight before we ship them, since there is no such thing as a one-size-fits-all spring. So that's what makes the Olins better than your stock shock. Okay guys, now that we've got the stock shock removed, all we have left to do is install the new Olin shock. It's going to be just as easy to install the Olin shock as it was to remove the stock shock. So now that's what we're going to do. So you want to take your 14mm socket and take the bolt, line it up, and put your finger on the other side of the bracket and keep the bolt flush. Line up your shock head. Alright, top bolt is in. So now we're going to take the bottom bolt. Easiest way to do it is to, again, set the bolt in the bracket, and with your left hand lift up the bottom of the shock, and then give the stand just a little bit of pressure and slide that bolt in. And it's all done. Alright, so you take your nut, put it back into the wrench, and then just slide your wrench very carefully into position. Like so. And what we're going to do is start cranking down. Alright, so now that I've got it cinched down, I need to torque it to the correct specs, and it's 32 foot-pounds that I need to torque it. Alright, so the top one's done, and we're going to do the bottom now. Alright, so now that we've got the bottom one cinched down, we're going to switch over to the torque wrench, and remember, 32 foot-pounds of torque. And it's all done. Really simple.